So much has grown. But there are no roots, no herbs.
What are you looking at, Jonathan?
The garden is in disorder. I want it to be right again, but I don't know how to do it.
Before I became prior, I thought the same about Kingsbridge.
Well, what did you do?
I cleaned up.
Where do we start?
Some plants are weeds and must go before we can plant new seeds.
What are weeds?
They take away what the other plants need to grow. Light, water, room.
What do we do?
Pluck them. They look a lot like every other plant, so you need to learn how to tell them apart. Here, you see those? They're called wood sorrel. Let's pluck only those for now.
I'll do it.
If you insist. Make sure to pull out all of the thin roots.
And now what do I do?
For plants to take root, the soil must be loose and fertile.
So, may I dig now? Done. What's next?
Stay here. I'll be right back. Now, where did you put them? Ah, here they are. I found these nuts for you. Remember, Milius? You always said that one day there will be a beech tree growing here. I think it's about time.
What did you bring?
Do you remember Milius? A kind man with a warm smile. Well, he told me to give you this.
Whoa!
Now we just have to wait.
All right. How long?
Too long for us to keep sitting here.
That long.
Some things take time. And only with patience will you receive your reward.
Why do we have to do all these things if all we had to do is wait?
Simply waiting would not have been enough, Jonathan. You just paved the way for things to take their course. They are happening right now. And in a few days' time, we will return and see the first green leaf of something new.
Oh. Is it God's reward?
Maybe.
Does he make things grow?
You made it.
No, I just planted the seed.
Now you can fetch some water from the rain barrel.
But that water's smelly. It's been there forever. There are many trees by the river. I bet that water's better.
That's a longer walk, though.
I don't mind. The distance is worth it.
Maybe you're right. It is worth it. Let's walk together then.
But I'll carry the bucket.
Why isn't Remigius holding the sermon? What's gotten into Philip?
Our church lies in ruins. But all of this, these dire times, have revealed something important to us. Something that, maybe until today, I wasn't aware of.
What do you mean?
You've been praying in these ruins. But you've been praying like you always did, in humbleness. We don't need a church for prayer.
Where else are we going to pray? The chapter house?
The church is where God resides.
God doesn't work in the ways we might assume. Today, Jonathan tended to our garden to make it beautiful again. And he told me of things I almost had forgotten. Good and evil are not in here or out there. They are within each of us. God made us in his image. Thus we carry the godly spark within us. But we have witnessed that man can have the devil in his heart as well. Prayer needs no special place, for we are his church. In our actions, he exists.
We are God's temple.
No man is closer to God than any other man. Whether you pray in church or on the streets of our towns, whether you're a man, woman, monk, or bishop.
Philip, look outside. You have to see them. You've got to see the horses and the colours.
Jonathan. Now, what's going on?
I heard noises and I went to look.
Calm down. What happened?
But the priest said they brought a miracle.
Who? What? What priest?
Step right up, brothers and sisters. For you are about to see something that will change your life.
Who is that?
They brought us a miracle.
A miracle?
Don't be shy. There is no danger, just awe that awaits you here. Ah, you must be Prior Philip. I am Brother Reynold. I have been sent by the Archbishop of Canterbury. Here is his letter, in case you have reasonable doubts. We've been charged to accompany the Weeping Madonna. She is to replace the loss of your relic, Saint Adolphus the Martyr, who was taken from you, I hear, with brute force.
What?
On her travel from far away Africa, she has collected donations to reward Kingsbridge for your faith in her and in the Lord.
I can't believe this. What is all this?
You do believe. That is why she came. And that is why you shall witness her miracle for yourself today. The Weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway land named Africa. A baptized Saracen was her former guardian. And I and the custodians of the Holy Virgin were chosen to take her on a journey.
Baptized? A Saracen?
What country did you say you came from?
We have traveled all the way from a place of wonders too marvelous to behold. The faraway land of Africa.
Africa has many countries, I've heard.
Yes, it does. I knew not her powers or destination. Nevertheless, I carried her for many miles. Many bore witness to her miracle before it dawned upon me.
If what you brought us comes from such a wondrous place, it must be very impressive.
Indeed. Soon you too shall witness the miracle of the Holy Madonna. But I wondered, what shrine should be her shelter? This time, it was the Madonna herself who answered my questions. She said, "You shall build me a new church in Kingsbridge." So we set off, with the blessing of Archbishop Theobald of Canterbury. And along the road, from Paris, across Normandy, over the sea, and all the way to Kingsbridge. Devout Christians have given money for the building of the Church of the Weeping Madonna. This Church of Kingsbridge.
What's it like in Africa?
The sun is always shining, and miracles happen every day. It's a land of great deserts, fig trees, and creatures that an Englishman can't even dream up.
Like these horses. Are they horses?
They are not. To you, they might resemble horses, but the name the Africans have for these creatures is impossible to pronounce, even for me. The Weeping Madonna has chosen you!
You mentioned there were fig trees in Africa. What are they?
It's a fruit, of course. It looks like a strawberry and tastes like a pear.
The scripture mentions these figs, and they sound nothing like that. Why is that?
No two apples look or taste alike. The same goes for figs, and doubly so.
I'm getting the impression that this man has never even been to Africa. But why would he lie?
You heard me correctly. It was a long... The Weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway
Jonathan?
land named
They're about to show the miracle. Look!
A baptized Saracen was her
Did you hear what he said? What is this place? Africa.
And I and
He's
the
too
custodians
excited.
of the
I
Holy
don't like
Virgin
this.
were chosen to take her on a journey.
Brother Reynold. I've heard of a Reynold from the coast. A scheming drunkard who lives as a traveling monk.
You think that's him?
Perhaps it is, perhaps it's not. I don't trust him either way.
Baptized?
I don't like this. There's something fishy about him.
Remigius thinks this is suspicious. This time, he might be right.
I knew not her powers or destination.
You don't need to be here. If it's too loud for you. Mary.
Nevertheless, I carried her for many miles. Many bore
They look
witness
almost
to her
like
miracle
horses.
before it dawned upon me.
Hollow. Feels like a
She
wicker
wanted
basket
to
covered in
go
pelt.
home. But where?
Do you speak English?
No English, no campandare, no.
Oh, what's this? I think you might have stepped into horse dung.
What? Where?
No English, is it?
Just un poco, si.
Could you talk to this man, Martha?
Yes, it's strange. He was quite talkative just a moment ago. He told me he was from Damascus in Africa.
Isn't Damascus in Arabia?
There's one in Africa too, I'm sure.
Why are you pretending you can't speak English?
No inglese, melada.
It came to me in a dream. It was Kingsbridge.
My dear people!
Oh, I'm so excited to see a true miracle.
Did you hear that? The Madonna has chosen us.
She's come all the way from Africa.
Please, everyone.
Shh! We want to listen to his story.
But I wondered, what shrine should be her shelter?
Have they revealed the miracle yet?
Not yet.
This time, it was the Madonna
Another
herself who answered my
Bonjour,
question.
mi no comprendare, no comprendare, no comprendare.
She said, "You shall build me a new church in Kingsbridge." So we set off.
Tell me the
with
truth.
blessing of
Why are
Archbishop
you here?
Theobald of
We are
Canterbury.
guardians of the Holy Virgin that sheds tears. We were appointed by the Archbishop of Canterbury, but it was the Holy Virgin herself who chose us while she travelled through Europe.
Oh, yes. How did that happen?
She speaks without words.
So you're telling me
Along
this
the road
is a real
from
miracle?
Paris,
A miracle,
Normandy,
a blessing, a wonder.
over the sea and all the way. Devout Christians have given money for the building of the Church of the Weeping Madonna. This Church of Kingsbridge. The Weeping Madonna has chosen
I
you.
am Philip.
All of you.
Who are you, young man?
You must wonder, why was
Why are you
Kingsbridge
hiding?
chosen to be the home of the Holy Virgin? She said,
That's not fit for a
"You
shrine.
shall build me a new
Nothing
church
sacred about
in
this.
Kingsbridge." So we set off with the blessing of Archbishop Theobald of Canterbury. I will tell you again, dear the Weeping Madonna has chosen you. All of you. Can you feel it? Brothers and sisters, you are about to witness a miracle. The Madonna knows how you have suffered. The Virgin Mother had to witness the rise and fall of her Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, and never stopped believing. Kingsbridge has endured many hardships. Prior James left you before his time when you needed him the most. Your old cathedral was burned to the ground.
How do you know this?
And your new one collapsed even before construction was finished. You have suffered the ruthless destruction of your market, homes, and lives.
Dada!
All of you have lost husbands, wives, and children, family and friends.
Dada!
All of you know how it is to be hungry and afraid.
Jack. Aliena.
Philip.
But this is...
a miracle, isn't it? Or something along those lines.
But how?
We thought it was time to give Tommy a home.
The boy? Your boy?
Well, Philip? Do you recognize him? Our little Tommy?
Tommy? But... Just what are you doing here with these people? Do you think I wouldn't notice it's all artifice? Your camels are horses, your foreigners are English faking their accent. Your shrine is an old cart with decorations, and Reynold is just a dubious man speaking nothing but lies. Remigius has heard of him, and nothing good.
The camels were a bit much, weren't they?
With the Madonna, we were able to collect donations for your priory and for Kingsbridge.
Really?
We can start anew. We can rebuild the cathedral.
What's the catch?
I'll get to be master builder.
Why?
I've studied the cathedrals, churches, and houses they build in France and Spain. I saw how different their constructions were, with new shapes, colors, and ideas. Oh, you should have seen it. They combined rib vaulting and pointed arches. I want to do that. That's why.
Why here?
Because this is home.
The townspeople probably think that's enough to build a whole cathedral, but to me it looks like about £100. You know, that won't even pay for a year's work.
Like all of this, it's a symbol. Enough for a fresh start.
And the Madonna will stay here. Kingsbridge will attract visitors and donations again.
You mean I should be thankful for these lies and tricks?
Jack! Aliena! You came back!
We wanted to see you, little sister.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. But look at you! And the little one!
Tommy.
How are the others?
Alfred left Kingsbridge. Richard shows up every now and then, and Ellen returned to the forest.
We need to visit her.
What's wrong, Mother?
I'm glad you're back.
I am too. Very glad.
She looks like she's about to cry.
She will weep for your suffering, Kingsbridge. She knows your pain.
What now?
The miracle!
Her eyes are wet.
Her eyes!
Look at her.
They're shining!
She cannot hold her tears any longer.
She is made of wood. It's impossible.
Why are you weeping?
She's mute ever since her husband died.
The Madonna has suffered as I have. She understands.
It seems through her faith in all of your lies, Mary has found a miracle. We can't keep trying to repair Kingsbridge by ourselves. Things are not improving. We're struggling to keep things as they are.
But we can't afford to hire help.
Without farming and fairs, we're back to Prior James's time.
All these past years, my advice was good enough for you. But it appears you've changed your mind now, again.
It is time we started doing something to wake up and make Kingsbridge what it used to be. We did before, and we can do it again.
I'm not willing to accept a risk like that. Don't you remember what happened last time? My, how easily we forget.
I remember well.
And still, you put your trust into a group of random strangers to make things better. Philip, why in God's name have you stood by and let this happen? They're tricking us into giving them money for false idols.
They are giving us money.
So that we'll place this idol in our priory? Do you approve of this?
People need hope, and these travelers are giving them hope. Yes, it is a deception, but with good intentions. Mary speaks again. Is that not a true miracle?
You fell for them. You really did. And now you joyfully take part in their deceptions. I'm warning you. I cannot support a prior who tolerates heresy.
Your threat won't sway me. No matter how unconventional, their return and their gift are a blessing.
You made your decision, Philip of Gwynedd. And now, I make mine. I resign. I'm leaving the Priory.
You got so big, Tommy. And you're just as shy as your father was.
Don't let him fool you. Usually, he's always up to something.
Tom would have been proud of you. Of both of you.
Is she still here?
Hmm?
Tom's wife.
Oh, no. Martha and I moved her to Kingsbridge. She's with Tom now. He always wanted that.
Ellen, we found Jack's family in Cherbourg.
The place he came from wasn't Cherbourg, it was Cherbourg.
Really? What were they like?
They were good people.
His grandmother said Jack looked just like him, like his father.
He does. But they never came for him or asked about him.
They thought he was dead. His ship sunk. He'd always wanted to go to England.
Have you ever heard of the White Ship?
No.
The king's family drowned.
My father was there. He was the only one who survived.
Not for long.
You told me that he was accused of stealing a chalice.
Yes. But I know he was innocent. I heard the story and had to find out what he looked like. He told me his name. I fell in love. I helped him escape. But in the end, they caught up with us.
What happened then?
They hanged him. I was there. And you were there, Jack. But you weren't born yet. He was led to the gallows. Everyone was quiet. The people somehow knew he was not a thief. But I knew for sure. He told me. He was so afraid. He didn't want to die. I didn't want him to die. And I prayed. Then I heard his voice. Quiet.
Sang sweeter than ever, as if the falling melody might wing and net dissever. At dusk the hunter took his prey, the lark his freedom never.
No! No!
You said that 3 men were responsible for Father's death.
Who were they?
The Sheriff of Shiring, Percy Hamley, Prior James of Kingsbridge, and Archdeacon Waileran Bygod. They showed no mercy. Neither did I.
I curse you! All of you! He will return to haunt you! One day, you will be judged for what you did. Your houses shall be consumed by fire. Your life shall end in pain and agony. You shall grow old in sadness and regret.
The people they killed will return to haunt them. I promised them.
We welcome our new prior, Remigius. He helped to recover the bones of the Saint of Kingsbridge, Adolphus, from the hands of thieves. Adolphus already rests safely in this great cathedral of Shiring. Our master builder Alfred promised me that it will only be a matter of a few years until the cathedral will be finished. And the Earl of Shiring has promised to support us. But he has not done so for himself. No, the Earl is not a selfish man. His mother, Lady Hamley, is sick. More and more, I feel the whole of England is suffering from a sickness. The sickness of war, poverty, and most of all, heathen beliefs. I have spoken to God. I asked him, begged him to walk amongst us, to heal us. But God told me that only when this great cathedral is finished will he have a temple to reside in. No matter the cost, this shall be a towering castle to protect us from evil and false beliefs. With this cathedral, we will bring an end to the dark times.
Waileran Bygod.
Jack? What are you doing here?
My father died by your hands, Waileran. His name was Jacques Cherbourg.
How dare you talk to the bishop like that?
He died right here!
Who are you?
I know that man. He's that bastard from Kingsbridge.
That man is my husband.
You?
All of you, listen to what we have to say. From now on, Kingsbridge is protected.
By our knights, by our walls, and by the word of the king.
So whatever you do, we will defend our town, our market and fulling mills.
And our cathedral, which we shall rebuild. All workers are invited to come and work for us.
Oh, preposterous.
If you so much as try to bring harm to us, Bishop, we will make sure that you pay for everything you did.